opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go, baby. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. When I step on the field, every single one of this.
What's it called?
Urban.
Feels like.
Conservative.
Yep, I see it.
Okay.
Ball is getting hit. Oh no! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Oh, it's hot now! It's hot now! Let's go! It's hot! Baby! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all these Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from that. He's a man. He can be a hit just like this. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Why don't you step on the field, man? That's what I did. When I step on the field, I said it's already a message.
That's ma'am.
This is what that feels
All
like.
right.
Oh, my bad. You ain't gonna work in my
It's a
world.
wrap. That's what I heard. Tony Busby. I don't know about that. Yep. All right, game just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday. It's also the day that we're going to have Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Reviews on the show. And we got to talk about these last two games heading into the playoffs. Dallas Mavericks got their spot. Well, or did they? They got to win one out of the next two games in order to lock down that number 6 spot or, be out of the play-in bracket. The Lakers got to win out and hope either Portland or the Mavericks lose out. They just need one of the two to lose out, and then the Lakers can get in that final spot where you don't have to worry about the play-in. So a lot happened. Rockets could have played spoiler last night. They didn't, but they played well, and we'll talk about that with Kris Gardner on Houston Roundball Review on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. And I'm like a little kid because the NFL regular season schedule is out for everybody. All 17 of them. All 17 games, the NFL regular season schedule is out. Cowboys got 5 primetime games. The Who Dat, talking about beating those Saints, have 5 primetime games. And the Houston Texans have 1. And that one, gosh, it looks bad already. Like, can they flex that one already? Because it looks bad. It will be the Houston Texans taking on the Carolina Panthers on a Thursday night, September the 23rd, and that just doesn't look like a good matchup. And nothing in Carolina makes me think they're going to be balling, and definitely nothing right here in the H has me thinking the Texans will be balling. So that will be that night where I'm getting the laundry together. I hope Snowfall or Queen of the South is still on Thursday night. Something. Just in case that one doesn't go well. I need Netflix to release a bunch of new movies. Amazon Prime. Got to fire up my Fire Stick. Just in case that one doesn't do what we think it's going to do. So We'll see. We will see. Insa McKelvey, how are you? Long time no connect with. I hope you're doing well. For those who can't see my shirt, I'm rocking Clark Atlantic University. I'm rocking with the Panthers today. I've got more HBC music that I'm going to drop on you today. So we're going to get it in. All right? And then, of course, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the way too early to go down certain schedules and try and come up with a win and loss total. I'm going to do it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with me. I'm going to do it. That's all you need to know. Texans, I've looked at that schedule. I pulled my glasses down on my nose. I wish I had those glasses like Charlemagne on The Breakfast Club where I could just flip them down and look. But I looked. I don't see a lot of wins. I don't see a lot of wins. I don't see a lot of wins. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go down that. You know what? It's the opening rant. Let me go ahead and get to start doing that right now. NFL, Houston Texans schedule. All right, the Texans open their preseason August the 14th. That's a Saturday at Green Bay. We'll get to see a lot of Jordan Love. Jordan Love or Blake Bortles. They just signed Blake Bortles. Him. So we'll see what that looks like. We'll see what that looks like. That's who we'll see on that game. And then August the 28th, that's a Saturday, the Texans will host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I don't expect any Tom Brady. Like, why would you play Tom Brady at all? The Texans, and, you're only playing 2 preseason games. Why would you play Tom Brady? So who are we going to see in the backup in that? Is that Mike Glennon? Who's the backup for Brady? Glennon? I don't know. But whoever it is, get ready to see plenty of him. All right, and then the real stuff gets started. So let's do it. We're going to go down the game, the week, the time, and I'm going to say win or loss. I'm going to say win or loss. Here we go. You ready? I'm ready. Week 1, the Houston Texans host the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and others. The Jaguars were 1 and a bunch of losses last year. The Texans were 4 and a bunch of losses last year. For some reason, I feel like, man, I almost broke out into a song, Insa. I almost broke out into, I feel like going on. I almost broke out in the song. But I feel like Jacksonville is going to come out with a wrinkle that the Texans haven't seen. No shade at Lovie Smith. I feel like Jacksonville, if they're going to get anybody, they're definitely going to get the Texans week 1. I'm going to put that one down as a loss for the Texans, mainly because it's week 1. You got David Culley, you got, Lovie Smith, you got Jack Eastwell, let's leave that name out. You got Nick Caserio. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of nerves on the Texans side. I know you got the same people on the Jacksonville side that could be nervous, but Urban Meyer has done that. Urban Meyer is that dude. You don't want to play him week 1, and you don't want to play him after a bye week. You just don't. So I think Urban Meyer gets David Culley week 1. All right, week 2, September 19th, at Cleveland. I think that's Cleveland's home opener. Am I right, Willie Gibson? I think that's Cleveland's home opener. You already know what that's going to be. You already know. you already know the Cleveland Browns are going to get down on the Houston Texans for their home opener. So the Texans start out 0-2. And then you got that dog meat game, short turnaround for the Texans when they host the Carolina Panthers. That game can be, I think the Texans can win that one. In fact, I'm going to be benevolent and give them the win in that one. So after 3 weeks, I got the Texans 1-2. I could be wrong on that season opener. That's the only one that's kind of, if I'm playing spades, I see two in a possible. That Jacksonville game is the possible. But they're going to lose to Cleveland, and they're going to beat Carolina.
Every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
Gotcha. All right.
And then I got to set up if you get a chance.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM at kyokradio.org.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Obama. Barack and I are so thrilled that we got our COVID-19 vaccine because this is a deadly disease and this vaccine will protect us from getting really sick. Getting vaccinated is safe and it could save your life and allow us to start getting back to seeing friends and family again. We can do this. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's not working. All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Had a commercial I was trying to play, and for some reason it doesn't seem to be working. So let me get that figured out. In fact, y'all stay right there because I gotta take care of the bills on the show. Can't let those slide. So let's see. Go back here. And bang. There's that. Get that right there. Get that right there. And stand by. Here we go.
In Jesus Christ, we are victors and not victims. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We depend on God alone and not the world systems. You
KYOK is a nonprofit faith-based organization that is committed to restoring, promoting, and protecting America's traditional values of God, family, and country in urban areas. We desire to empower, educate, shape, and mold the minds of future generations. Join our mission at www.urbanblessing.org. All donations are tax deductible. This is Sean Scott, co-founder of Urban
No, it just didn't
America.
work.
God bless.
You didn't?
You're having a fabulous
Yeah, but I played.
your lunch.
I played
Here
one.
on the
Hold
lunch
on.
break.
You said
On
it.
the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all. We're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. All eyes on me. And again, pardon the technical difficulties. But just kind of breaking down a little bit of what's going to happen, what I believe is going to happen in the upcoming season for the Houston Texans. And I got to give you a little bit of HBCU marching band music. Keith Hennick got me all fired up about these HBCUs. And I'm wearing Clark Atlantic today, so you know I got to go to them. Come on, Clark Atlantic. Come on, give me a little bit. Hold on. Let's see what we got going on here. That's that funky stuff, Keith. That's that funky stuff. Clark Atlantic Marching Band. Come on, CAU. Longhorn Keith, they don't do that over in Austin, bro. And if you go to Rice, I'm sorry. You don't even know what that is. You got to go stand out on Scott Street and just listen across the. No, that's U of H. I'm tripping. Yeah, if you go to Rice, I don't even know what to tell you. You ain't even close enough to TSU to get done. So anyway, Clark Atlanta and the funky stuff right there, courtesy of one of our listeners. Thank you for sending that one in. All right, let me get back to these Texans real quick before Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, jumps in. You get back to these Houston Texans and what I think. I got them losing to the Jaguars. I got them losing up in Cleveland and then beating Carolina here at home. I think that's David Culley's former team, isn't it? Didn't Culley come from Carolina? It might be a grudge match. Listen, brother, what are you going to do when them Texans run wild on you? Oh, yeah, it's the Texans. Got a little Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage in there. All right, so anyway, that's what I got. I got the Texans 1-2 after 3 games. Then, after that, they got to go to Buffalo. All right, we already know what that is, right? When they go to Buffalo on October the 3rd, Sunday, I'm putting that in the L column. Then they come back to Houston on the 10th, October the 10th, and they host none other than Cam Newton and the New England Patriots. That is a game that they can win. I just don't think they will. I think New England has retooled enough. Cam Newton is not going to be fighting COVID, not going to be trying to get his health and his breath. I'm going to go ahead and give that one to New England. And again, that's another one that could be a possible. So I'm putting New England on that one. All right, so then they visit the Indianapolis Colts at Indianapolis October the 17th. Again, another game that they could win, they won't. Even if your boy plays like he typically plays, I think there's too much other stuff in Indianapolis, and that defense is too good, especially when we're going to be talking about either Davis Mills or Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. I'm going to give the Texans a loss in Indianapolis. So right now, I got them at 1-5. I got them at 1-5. Then they visit the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and J.J. Watt. Ain't going to let that happen. So let's just go ahead and quit playing. Put that one in the loss column. Texans 1-6. Then they come back and they host the Rams. You know what that's going to be? 1-7. Then they visit the Dolphins. Now, again, a game that they can win. They ought to be able to rattle Tua enough. They ought to be able to just give the Dolphins problems. I like Brian Flores. Think he's going to turn the corner this year. I got to give the Texans at least a road win, right? I'm going to slide that one in the Texans column. I'll be rooting for Miami, but I'm going to slide that one in the Texans column. So heading into the bye week, I got the Texans at 2-7. 2-7. Then they come back out of the bye week on November 21st at Tennessee. All right, let's get back to the loss column because that's what that one's going to be. Let's get back to the loss column because that one, yeah, Keith, I don't believe that the Miami's going to lose to the Texans either. So your nerf is duly noted. Duly noted, Keith. All right, so again, the Texans lose to Tennessee, and then the Texans host the Jets. I am going to give the Texans the win over the Jets. No shade at BYU. No shade at the young man out of BYU. No shade at David Salah. How do people pronounce it? Because the word is Salah, but it's his name. So how does he pronounce it? Anyway, no shade at either of them. The Texans are going to beat them at home. Then they got the Colts at home. And I kind of feel like I ought to split home and away, but not with the Colts. I'll put that in the loss column. Right now, the Texans are 2-9. 2-9. Then the Texans host Seattle. Nope, sorry. I don't want to hear it. Not going to beat Seattle. And then they go visit Jacksonville. And that's where I think the Texans can get Urban Meyer. I think they can get Trevor Lawrence because now they've got game film. They've got NFL game film. They're not trying to figure out what Dabo Swinney and that offense is doing with Trevor Lawrence. They got to figure out what Urban Meyer and his offensive coordinator are doing with Trevor Lawrence. So I believe that late in the season in Jacksonville, the Texans can still want to come on home. I got them at 3-10. Got them at 3-10. Then they host the Chargers. If Tyrod Taylor is playing, it'll be him against a team that cost him his starting job. He didn't lose his starting job because he wasn't playing well. He lost his starting job because the team doctor in L.A. punctured his lung. And they had to play Justin Herbert / Herbert, I'm sorry. Be nice. Kid played out of his mind. So Tyrod Taylor might have a little something to prove. Now, if you got Davis Mills in there, throw all this out. But I think the Texans can win that one. 4-10. And then they play the 49ers. Let's quit tripping. Loss. And then they play the Tennessee Titans. The only chance the Texans have is if Tennessee has locked down like the number 1 seed in the AFC or the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they ain't got nothing to play for. If that's the case, win for the Texans. If that's not the case, loss for the Texans. And there you go. There you go. 17 games. I got the Texans at 4-13 or 5-12. 4-13 or 5-12. That's what I got. That's just me now. I know Texan fans all over the world are mad. Oh, you're just a hater. You haven't changed. Nobody said I was going to change. Ain't my job to change. Change your front office. Get your prayer partner out of the vice president of football operations chair. Don't be mad at me because your organization is run real crazy. I came for Cowboy fans yesterday. I'm coming for Texan fans today. Organization just loopy. Got a prayer partner for VP. VP of prayer. All right, nice title. Why are you fooling around with player personnel and drafts and stuff? Nick Caserio. He literally tried to do the Bill Belichick with discount draft choices, discount free agency. Just because you shop at a discount store doesn't mean the stuff looks good. Oh, man, I got this for 29 cents. It looks like it. It really does look like it. Oh, Brett, you know this look good. You just hating. Not really. Look, for $100 more, you could have got something that looked nice. So I'm not being mean, not being whatever. 4-13 or 5-12. Don't worry about the playoffs. Don't worry about being number one in the AFC South. Just try not to be in last place. That would be a win. If the Texans won 5 games without Deshaun Watson, that would be a win. That would be a win. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, there is new Deshaun Watson news today. The attorney for the women who have filed charges against Deshaun and filed lawsuits against Deshaun, the attorney, I get tired of saying his name, but Tony Busby say that they are not going to settle. He says the women are not going to settle, none of them. And they're looking forward to their day in court. He also went on to say, though, that he and the women are not happy with the way the NFL has spoken to some of them. I believe 4 of them have met with the NFL. 4 more want to talk to the NFL, but the attorney for the women is not sure if he's going to let them talk to the NFL because of the way that the previous 4 were treated. I don't know what that's about. I don't know the details of that. I will say this. I am not a fan of the NFL handling non-football related matters, especially when it comes to women. Domestic abuse, sexual assault, you name it, harassment, you name it. They do not do a good job. They're the National Football League. They are not the National Protect Women League. They're not, and they don't do a good job of it. How's the young lady doing up in Seattle, where the lineman tried to choke her to death? How's she doing? What has the NFL done about that? We haven't heard a word, have we? That one's not hard. There's nothing to prove. You did this, yeah. Oh, I'm surprised she's still alive. Was the comment that this guy made, and the NFL hadn't done anything yet. Oh well, the Seattle Seahawks released him. I ban him from the league. Then make some statement. You haven't done that. NFL does not handle these matters well. So I wish there was truly an independent branch of the NFL that handled these kind of matters. Roger Goodell got up and said that there was going to be a group like that. Remember the press conference that they had when they had all the domestic violence things going on? I don't believe that was true. Or if it was, it's just an office next to a dust closet. It's just like the lights are never on in there. There's never anybody there. So anyway, that being said, I stick by what I've been saying all along. I believe the NFL is going to suspend Deshaun for an extended period of time. Not 4 games, not 6 games. I believe he's going to get suspended for somewhere between 8 and 17. So, anyway, according to the women's attorney, no settlement. That does not bode well for Deshaun Watson. And again, these women deserve to have their day in court if that's what they desire. If they choose to settle, then so be it. If they don't and they want to go to court, they deserve to have their day in court. They deserve that. Now, the attorney for the women did praise the Houston Police Department on how they have been handling the police reports that some of them have filed in connection with their civil suits. And that's good to know. That's good to know that that is taking place. All right? Okay. So there, you got your Texans update. I got them at 4-13 or 5-12. I'll do the Cowboys next when we come back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
11:40 a.m. and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and
I don't know. It skipped right over it. Like when it was supposed to go through, it skipped right over.
It skipped right over. Because I heard the cancer spiritual come up.
And that's what I said. So then I put it back on again.
Yeah.
And I hit the thing to go to the song, and it went over it again. So that's when I played it for my.
Yeah.
Cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047.
Do you know has that happened before with anything?
Not that I know of.
800-876-7047. 800-876-7047.
Yeah, but I got it downloaded so I can play it from here until you tell me otherwise.
Right. And that's when you said,
Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
You're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our free Throwback Thursday. I'm sorry, let me stop. Got too much going on. Throwback Thursday here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. All right, so just did the Texans, got several text messages on not agreeing with me. Let's see. This person, 646-684, AJ, the Texans will split with Jacksonville and with the Colts. All right. The Texans will split with the Jacksonville and the Colts. I think I already split them with Jacksonville. I said they lose the opener and win later on down the line in the season. So I agree with you there. The Colts, I'm not going to argue with you. So what are we saying now? They're going to be either 5-12 or 6-11. I won't argue that. Fair discussion. Now, if you start making me give them the Rams game with that defense, you make me start giving them the 49ers game, I'm not going to do that. Like I say, the only other game on that schedule that is an iffy one, New England. That's an iffy one. If I was playing spades, I wouldn't count that as a book. That would be a possible. So again, somewhere between 4 and 6 wins is where I got it, because there are games that I gave them that they very well could lose. None of these are locks. This is all speculation, just based on what those teams looked like last year and what they added this offseason and through the draft. And I'm just going to tell you, the NFL is one of those leagues where you got to have it screwed on real tight. You got to be locked in. You got to be laser focused. And the Texans have been anything but that. And watch this. And it's not all about Deshaun. It's not all about the Deshaun thing. There are problems in that front office. there are guys on that team that are not fans of Jack Easterby, and instead of him getting less power and having their voices and concerns heard, the exact opposite happened. Their concerns were not heard. Easterby got more power to go along with bringing in his BFF. So no, the Texans are not mentally locked in. They can say, "Oh, we've circled the wagons. We pulled together. It's us against the world." Right. Okay. Show me. Somewhere between 4 and 6 wins. If they get 7 wins, dance in the street. If the Texans get 7 wins this year, dance in the street. Do it like the old Cowboy fans used to do it. Talk about that bad boy like it was the Lombardi Trophy. The Texans get 7 wins. All right, let's do the Cowboys real quick. Can we do them real quick? All right, let's see. I got another one here. Let's see. This is 346-244. AJ, I see 3 wins. You're being generous. All right, well, I'm glad somebody sees the change in me. A change has come over me. He changed my life and he set me free. I'm trying to change, trying to be, compassionate to you Texan fans out there. All right, so let me get back to the Cowboys. Keep those texts coming in though, 832-403-5005, or you can call me you can call me 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. I'll take your calls. Let's have some fun with this. This is it's not set in stone. You don't have to argue with me. I'm not going to argue with you. All right, so the Cowboys will play one preseason game on August the 5th. They're going to visit the Steelers. That'd be fun. That should be interesting. All right, and then after that, they open up on the road September the 9th, Thursday night in Tampa versus the Buccaneers. I say again, if you want Tom Brady, that's the night to get him. If you're going to get Tom Brady, that's the night to get them opening day. Get them opening night. I'm going with Tampa, but I won't be surprised if the Cowboys win. So week 1, I'm going L for the Cowboys. All right, week 2 at LA to take on the Chargers. Cowboys, healthy Dak, healthy Zeke, Amari, CeeDee Lamb, defense playing better. Cowboys can win that. A-Bear maybe going through a sophomore slump. I'm going to slide that one over in the Cowboys category. That's a possible now. That's a possible. At home versus the Eagles. Again, Cowboy Stadium, tough place to play. Jalen Hurts plays well on big stages, big lights, big moments. But the Cowboys are at home. So I'm willing to give that one to the Cowboys, similar to how I was willing to do with the Jacksonville and the Texans. I'll give the Cowboys the Eagles win win over the Eagles at home. Cowboys after 3 games are 2-1. They host the Panthers. Cowboys will beat them. Sam Darnold, I just have a feeling he's going to be putrid. I have a feeling he's just going to be horrible. New York Giants, I ain't a fan. After 5 games, I got the Cowboys 4-1. At New England, I'm sorry. Same thing I said about the Texans. Cowboy fans, I believe New England is going to be better. If you don't know that Bill Belichick is going to be coaching his butt off. Bill Belichick was embarrassed this past season for the way they played, for how they finished, and the fact that Tom Brady went on to win a Super Bowl. I got New England winning that one. In New England, yeah. Then the bye week. So I got the Cowboys at 4-2 heading into the bye week. At Minnesota when they come back on Sunday, October the 31st, Sunday Night Football in Minnesota. I'll put it like this. If it's Kirk Cousins, Cowboys win. If it's Kellen Mond, I believe Minnesota wins that one. I'm going to give it to the Cowboys right now. 5-2. Then they host Denver. They'll beat them. Unless Aaron Rodgers is quarterback. They host the Falcons. Give them that win. At Kansas City, I'm not playing with y'all. Cowboy fans, y'all stay soft. Y'all ain't going to win that one. Versus the Raiders, they'll win that one. At New Orleans, Cowboys always play the Saints well. Cowboys always play the Saints well. I'm going to not be a homer, and I'm going to keep going with the Cowboys since they play the Saints well. The Cowboys have beaten the Saints when they had a healthy Drew Brees. When the Saints were like undefeated, the Cowboys found a way to beat New Orleans. So I'm going to give them that win. I'm going to give the Cowboys that win. So right now I got the Cowboys, 9-3? At the Washington football team. I'm sorry. That defense in Washington, the only thing that concerns me is the quarterback spot. Only thing that concerns me is the quarterback spot. Woo! I'm going to say Washington. I got to give them that one. At the Giants, I'll give that to the Cowboys. I got them at 10-4 right there. They will beat Washington at home. They got the Cardinals at home. I'm going to give that one to the Cardinals. And then at the Eagles, again, depending upon playoff positioning, what have you, I'm going to give the Cowboys an L there. I got the Cowboys at 11-6. Cowboys are 11-6 based on my estimation of the record, of the schedule. Let me go to the phone line. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Brother AJ, lunch break is Ferdinand.
Hey, Ferdinand, how you doing, man?
Pretty good yourself?
I'm doing well.
That's good. AJ, I won't beat the Texans up too bad like I beat them up last year. I'll grade them week 5, but Coach Kelly, they have a handful. I'm hoping he's one of those coaches right there who knows how to coach talent. Because when you're looking at the Texans right now, they're in rebuild mode. And you know how teams are when they're in rebuild mode. You don't have a plan in place. You don't know exactly the talent that you can have that's going to coincide with one another to bring you in. So they, uphill battle. Their hands are totally full. But like you say, AJ, a lot of times people don't want to hear the truth about their teams, but you just don't see a lot of wins coming from the Texans where they stand right now. Doesn't mean they can't win, later on in the season. But right now, it's really not looking promising for them.
Yeah, and that's why I say, man, if the Texans win 7 games, fans ought to be elated. Fans ought to be over the top with all that has happened off the field and all that's happening mentally, let alone talent-wise. You really have flipped over the majority of your roster. So if they win 7 games without Deshaun Watson, oh, yeah, you dance in the streets.
Yeah, because the wins that they got, come on, when you really look at it, Deshaun helped them get those wins. Those 4 wins that they were able to muster to get was because of Deshaun. If he didn't scramble, as long as he scrambled, he don't get anything. So you need a quarterback. You need the running game. Where's the running game, AJ? Where's the running game? When you took Blue away, at least Blue was consistent. I haven't seen a better back than Blue since they got those other backs in. And so we have no structure. And the Texas structure is totally gone. So if they get 7 wins, man, that's a blessing. But I don't see it. Yeah,
no, I'm in agreement with you. I don't see it, but I'm not going to argue over if they're going to split with Indianapolis and they're going to split with Jacksonville. I mean, those things are very possible. Don't try to convince me that they're going to be able to run with Tennessee. Don't try to convince me they're going to be able to run with San Francisco. Don't try to convince me they're going to be able to run with, these other teams that just because they had a down year last year, you had guys that were hurt, you had guys that were injured, that kind of thing. It's not like they're waiting on J.J. Watt to come back healthy and solidify that defense. It's not like they're looking for, DeAndre Hopkins to come back from a hamstring. They got a whole new deal, and we'll see how all that works out.
Well, when you look at the Texans for the last couple of years, they've declined. They haven't made any positive picks since I've been grading them the last couple of years, and since I called the 4-win season, AJ, they haven't made anything that's significant that'll show you that they can win more than 4 games.
Yeah.
You haven't put people on the team that's going to make you win games. So we'll see. We're not trying to beat the Texans down, but football. I know football. We ain't crazy, and the Texans got their hands full. That's just it.
Yeah, and you know what? That running game has got to be upgraded. I mean, they need one of those guys they brought in through free agency to step up. And they need to step up in a big way because they can't depend on what they got out of David Johnson, and they don't have Duke Johnson anymore. So, Mark Ingram's going to have to step up. They have to see what they can get out of the other running back, and David Johnson still in that running back room. You can't just throw the ball 60 times a game and expect to win. You're not built like that.
Absolutely. So, AJ, every team, and I'll leave you, every team, AJ, needs a good running back. If you have mediocre running backs after that, so be it. But you have to have a good running back. If you don't have a good running back and you don't have a quarterback like Peyton Manning started out or Tom Brady, you're not going to win games. I don't care who you are. Yeah,
no, I agree. And that's why I say they have got to step up and do more of what, better than what they did before. I'll put it that way.
Absolutely. So I'll leave this as the Texans right now, we're in much need of a quarterback, and you're in much need of running back. Those are the 3 components that you need. The rest of that stuff has to come in time, but if you don't have that, there's no win.
Well, let me just say this, and I'm going to step out on a limb and say this. The Texans are going to be Davis Mills' team as soon as they get him ready to take the team. So, people can say what they want to say about Deshaun, and, maybe now things will work out once everything is settled and all that. Deshaun's not coming back. Davis Mills is their guy, and they're going to get him ready to go to be the face of this franchise like they've never done a quarterback before. Even when Deshaun was here, it was J.J. Watt's team. J.J. is gone. Deshaun's not coming back. It's not going to be Tyrod Taylor's team. It's going to be Davis Mills' team.
Absolutely. It's really time to move in a total different direction for the Texans. You got new coaches, the new quarterback, the new running back, and go ahead and go in a whole totally different direction because what you have now is dismantled, and it's really not going to come back together. It already, AJ, 4 wins. What are we talking about? You have to go in a totally different direction because the teams that were mediocre, AJ, the last couple of years, those teams improved.
Yeah.
They drastically improved. So the Texans, man, they got the hands full, sir.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, well, have a good one, my brother. We ain't going to hold you, but as you can see, nobody else called you, so I did it as best I could. Don't want to hurt anybody, but I will give the people the facts, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, man, 4 to 7 wins. If they win 7 games, they need to be extremely happy.
Hey, if them people win 7 games, I'll give you a steak dinner on me.
Bruh, I don't even eat meat like that, but I'll eat that because you bought it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it could be steak or it could be a vegan meal. It'll just be on me if they can get 7 wins.
No, bro, I need that T-bone, bro. I ain't gonna back you off that one.
All right, that'll work, AJ. Have a good one.
All right, Ferdinand, you too. Always a good dude. Ferdinand, Call of the Year 2017. All right, let me get the top of the hour started. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CS Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today.
Game time, mortality. Game time, mortality. Let's go. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. Mortality. Game time. Mortality. Game time. Mortality. Game time. Mortality. Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all these trying to be the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. So much crying from them. He's a man. He can be hit just like this. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm glad when you step on the field, man. That's war I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You ain't been working my world. Mortality. Game time. Mortality. Game time. Mortality. Game time. Mortality. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. The presiding judge in last month's trial of Derek Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd has ruled that prosecutors proved Chauvin's cruelty beyond a reasonable doubt. Among the 4 aggravated factors, Judge Cahill stated, the white former Minneapolis police officer abused his position of authority and treated George Floyd with particular cruelty. So how much time will the judge give Chauvin? Sentencing is now scheduled for June 25th. The number of new COVID-19 cases continues to fall in the U.S. This week, the average of new infections fell to an average of just under 39,000. The first time case counts have been below 40,000 since September of 2020. However, outbreaks continue to grow in other countries, particularly in India. World Health Organization officials announced it is reclassifying the highly contagious variant from India as a variant of concern, signaling that it has become a global health threat. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed.
Be empowered. All right, y'all. Back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. It is our Throwback Thursday. Kris Gardner going to be joining us this hour, and got a lot of text messages on the Cowboys and the Texans. Just from me, taking it upon myself, look at the schedule and say, I think they're going to win. This one is pretty good, though. AJ, treat this like a survey or a poll and give it a plus-minus rating. Like you could be either right or wrong, plus or minus what number? I'm going to go plus or minus 2. I'm going to go plus or minus 2. So on either one of these, I'm going to say the Cowboys, I got them at 11-6. I could be off plus or minus 2. Texans, 4-13 or 5-12. I could be off plus or minus 2. I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. So it's going to be a rough year for the Texans, and y'all knew that. Y'all expected that. But watch this. Here to take it to a whole nother level. Here to take it into a whole different direction. I got to get this theme music together. Here to take it into a whole different direction is none other than my brother, like no other. It is Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Kris, I'm going to get it together. I was too busy running my mouth about these Houston Texans that I forgot to do this right here. Kris, how tall are you?
5'10" and change.
Yeah, that's tall. That's tall. We'll call that tall.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Not
Thank
dark
you.
skin.
Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. What's up, my brother? How you feel?
I'm doing great, man. Did I hear you say you predict the Cowgirls to go 11-6?
Yeah, I did. I said that. Out
The
loud.
Cowgirls getting double-digit wins, huh? Okay. I'm gonna just go and toss it out there.
Well, that's all dependent upon Dak Prescott being healthy and the defense being fractions better than what it was last year, because it was putrid last year. It was horrible.
Oh no, I'm just hating. I'm a fan of the well, even though I don't watch football anymore. I'm still a fan of the Washington football team. So
Oh gosh.
yeah,
Oh my
I will pick them over the Cowgirls any day of the week. So I guess you got
Chris.
Washington winning 12 games in, right? 12, 13.
Chris.
Is that right? 12 or 13 since Dallas is 11. So I mean, really, Washington's better than them.
I got Washington in the number 3 spot in
Oh
the
no.
NFC
No,
East. I've got
no.
Philly winning the division. I've got the Cowboys second. I've got Washington third, and I got the Giants getting back where they belong.
Who has the best defense in the division?
Washington.
Okay, thank you. That's all I want to know. They got a better quarterback.
That I don't know.
Stays healthy. If he stays healthy, he's better than what they had last year.
Well, yeah, that I can give you that.
Okay.
But there's a reason why nobody's giving Ryan Fitzpatrick long-term deals. There's a reason why.
That's true, but he doesn't have to be great if you got a great defense. So their defense could
and
be
that's
better.
where the question will be, Chris. Does Washington have that Baltimore Ravens defense where you can win with a guy like Trent Dilfer? Do they have
That's fair.
that? You know, do you have that defense where you can win with a guy like Brad Johnson, like they had down in Tampa,
That's
or
fair.
in Chicago where you can win with Jim McMahon? If that's the case, then you're right. You're right. Keith Hennig said, Chris. I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Dallas Cowgirls till I die. Hey, whatever. So what? That's who I am.
I went in on the Cowboy fans yesterday because they don't make them like they used to. Cowboy fans used to talk noise about their team if they had one win. Now you can't find them. You can't find a Cowboy fan. Every now and then you'll have an occasional throwback jersey or one of them old hats on. But, you know, and when you say something to them about saying, oh, well, you know, it's like, no, y'all used to talk noise, mad cash. And
when I was growing up, and the NFC East was the best division in football, period.
Yeah, you're right.
Dallas, Washington, Giants, Eagles. We used to make fun of the Eagles because they didn't have a Super Bowl ring. Can't do that anymore because, you know, it was Washington, Giants, Cowboys all had rings for the longest time.
Right.
But, you know, it used to mean something. You check the schedule, Dallas week. Every fan knew what that meant. You knew to hate every other, fan of that team. You would talk junk all week long to those fans, to your friends. You'd be friends all year round, except for that week, those 2 weeks. So that's where I grew up. You know, I grew up with John Riggins and the Hogs and the Smurfs, Art Monk, all those people. That's what I grew up with. Start with that. But nowadays, yeah, whatever. Take it or leave it.
It is a little different. So yeah, I got plus or minus now. So they can be 9 and 8, or they can be 11 and 6. You know, you just don't know. I think the Cowboys are going to be exponentially better when you got Dak Prescott running the show versus Andy Dalton. I can say that.
Yeah, I won't argue with that.
Yeah, and it's hard to be as bad as their defense was last year. It's hard to be that bad again.
Okay. I'm just being biased. That's all. Like I said, I haven't watched a football game in a couple of years, but yeah, I'm just being biased. So when it comes to them, I'm just going to be contrarian.
You're a bad man. You're a bad
contrarian.
Man.
That's all.
Yeah. So last night, the Rockets almost played spoiler. Last night, they had 5 guys score 16 or more points.
The problem is it's not the offense. Coach Silas's offense, I think, you can see the potential how the offense can be effective when you have healthy good/star players. The problem is with all the injuries and everything, most time in practice, the defense is just bad. It's just confused. You don't know where your teammate's supposed to be. Where's he going to be on the hedge? He's going to be up high on the high pick. Where's he going to be on the rotation? All those things are apparent. And then first things first for a very good defensive team is you got to keep guys out the paint.
Yeah.
And they struggle with that big time.
Yeah. Yeah. Montrezl Harrell ate real good. Drummond ate real good in the paint. And, like you said, now the Rockets have got to do better than that. I told the host of one of our flagship stations show, KWWJ, AM 1360 and 96.5. I told them that I wanted to talk to you about this. Is it the defense, and what do they need to do to fix the defense? Because when you got guys scoring like that, you ought to be able to play well enough to win.
The defense, personnel, I think is lacking defensively. I think that's a start. Armani Brooks, I think, finally played good defense last night, good defensively last night. And if I got U of H fans, alums tuning in, I'm just being honest. Armani, Coach Sampson had to talk to him. Say, yo, man, you got to play better defense than this. I coach you better than this. So he finally played well defensively last night. He shot the ball well, got a career high, 24 points. And what I also like about him, he finally made some twos. He made 5 twos, 4 threes. Got to expand your game, man. The more he plays, the more teams will realize, yo, man, this guy can shoot threes. Let's make him do something else.
Yeah.
He showed he could do that. So he got to be a complete ball player. And before last night, Armani's 3-point percentage was 38%. His 2-point percentage was 39%. Got better than that. If you want to be a good player and can be consistent and get paid and eat well, you got to shoot better than 39% from 2. I don't care how great you are from 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us here on the lunch break. Real quick, Kris, before we have to take our first break, the fact that Armani Brooks broke the record for the most made threes in the first 17 games of a rookie career, is that a big deal, or is that just whatever?
It's a big deal to the U of H alums, apparently, because that tweet that I put out there, it's still getting likes. But
wow.
It's a nice accomplishment.
Okay.
But for him to stay in the league and get paid, he has to do more than just shoot threes.
Yeah.
Obviously, it helps that if he shoots 38, 39, 40% from 3, that's good. That's great. But don't just do that. Be more than that. Get rebounds, get assists, play better defense. Because Ben McLemore, great 3-point shooter, he could stay on the floor because his defense was garbage. Just pure garbage. He looked completely lost on defense rotations here. And Rockets, when they went young, you can go get a chance at a playoff team. But defense was one reason for that.
Yeah. We got to take a break. We'll come right back with more from Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. I want to ask you a little bit about Russ Westbrook when we come back right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
The legendary KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
In Jesus Christ, we are victors and not victims. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We depend on God alone and not the world systems. UCA is a nonprofit faith-based organization that is committed to restoring, promoting, and protecting America's traditional values of God, family, and country in urban areas. We desire to empower, educate, shape, and mold the minds of future generations. Join our mission at www.urbanUSA.org. All donations are tax deductible. This is Sean Scott, co-founder of Urban Conservatives of America. God bless.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, from the bottom to the top, top to the bottom, I'm going to rock them while I still got him. Talking about Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us on the show. And Kris, first of all, thanks for being here, as always. Second of
My
all,
pleasure, of course.
had one of our longtime listeners call in, Todd Malcolm, big UT fan. He wasn't a Shaka Smart fan. He happy about this new dude they got down there.
And you're not.
Here's the thing. Huh?
And you're not happy. You don't like the dude at all.
I just want to make sure he don't act like he did when he was up there in Lubbock. That's all. If he just coaches, I'm all right with him. I got no problem with it. But you get to sitting down on the floor like you a grown baby. My mama used to say, just stay right there. I'm finna give you something to bounce around about. Yeah, I need somebody to come and get him like that. I know it ain't gonna happen. But anyway, Todd does not believe in the triple double. His whole thing is if you're getting triple doubles, you need to be getting wins. And he's one of those, LeBron James could get a triple double every game if he wanted to. And when I read the names off on the list, I said, are you telling me that these guys were padding their stats? He used to be a basketball coach. I said, so you're telling me that if a kid had a triple double, you wouldn't praise that kid for giving it all out there on every facet of the court? And he said, no, I wouldn't.
I tell you, brother, more and more I'm leaning toward Todd. I'm all, I touched on a little bit last week. I know Russ is a Hall of Famer. Russ is a great talent. Triple doubles, he's doing them so often now. He's made them passe. I want to win. I do, and I do agree with you about if everybody could do it, they would. I agree with that to a point, but I do agree if LeBron James wanted to, the elite players like LeBron, like Mike, like Kobe, the elite ones, I believe they could do that, could have done that. But I'm a win person. I'm bottom line W's. That's what I want. Bottom line, get the dub. Now some of Russ's 25, 20, and 15, those numbers are just mind-blowing, eye-opening. But did the team win? Because ultimately, that's what it's all about, is winning. Magic Johnson, when Magic was running the Lakers, point guard for the Lakers, his triple doubles it was such a rare thing, and he did it so well. But more importantly, Magic and the Lakers won. He led them 2 championships. And I'm not hating on Russ, not at all. But he's done it so often now, he really has made it passe. I want Russ to get a ring. I want Russ to get a ring more than I want him to get triple doubles.
Okay, now that last part helped me. Here's my thing. The record has not been broken in 47 years.
Correct.
So that's Magic. That's Bird.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
That's Pete Maravich. That's Jerry West. 47 years.
Right. Pick great players. That's Wilt. That's, pick elite guards. That's LeBron. That's Mike. That's Kobe. That's, Isaiah. On and on. I understand all that.
Even the pure point guards. And then let's look at, Isaiah Thomas had a Hall of Fame career. He didn't win a ring. Point guard. He didn't win a ring.
What do you mean, Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
He won 2.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Who are you thinking about?
I'm going off.
John Stockton?
Stockton. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Stockton. Who was your guy in Phoenix?
You talking about Kevin Johnson?
No, not Kevin.
Before him, who else?
The one
Charles Barkley?
MVP.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is it all about the ring? Do we kick out the accomplishments because they don't have rings?
I'm not doing that. But how many times did Russ gone far in the playoffs?
They went to the NBA Finals.
How many times?
Once.
And when was that? How long ago was that?
It was a while back.
Okay.
But it ain't easy to get to the NBA Finals.
Agreed. That's why that's where I'm from. I'm about W's. I'm a bigger MVP. The only MVP I want my guy to win is Finals MVP. Because chances are, if he's the Finals MVP, that means my team won a championship.
But here's my thing. So something that hadn't been done in 47 years, somebody does it now, and because they don't have a ring, we just look at it like, all right.
I looked at it like that 2 years ago because there were games Russ was at OKC where he chased after some rebounds, and Steven Adams said, "You got it, you got it." You could see towards some of those games he did that. Okay,
I get that.
So some of that is on him. So sometimes when he went out of his way to get a triple-double, that hurts him. That detracts from the accomplishment. Because when you're doing it, when you're trying to pad your stats to get a rebound in the last minute, and your team didn't win, if that's the case, then what were you playing for? The win or the triple-double?
So we can't say he was hustling on those plays?
Did they lose? If he went after a rebound in the last minute to get a rebound and they still lost, now he was hustling for that triple-double.
But he gave his team a chance for a shot because he got that rebound.
But why are the Wizards fighting for a playoff spot now? Because of the triple-doubles or because he started helping them win?
Now, come on now. The Wizards. Who we talking about? The Wizards?
Why? But no. Why are they in contention for a playoff spot? Because he padded his stats or because he has helped them win?
He's helped them win.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's the important thing. He and Bradley Beal are carrying that team. I couldn't care less if Russ got 9, 9, and 9. 9, 5, and 5. Did they win? Did they win?
Somebody else's greatness because
I'm not underestimating it. I'm saying he's done it so often now. He has heard his own argument. He's made it passé. He's going out of his way to carry that team.
Earl Washington, Rod Strickland.
Those are different dudes there. Those are true point guards. Russ is a guard. He's a combo guard. You can go back, Earl Monroe, Johnson, Clyde Frazier, all those, yeah.
Clyde.
But how many of those guys, especially you get into Clyde, Dennis Johnson was a complete guard, right? Offense and defense. He got you what you needed at that point in time. You need to guard the best player on the team, got it. Needing to finally make a key jumper, he did it. You know what he did? He also won a championship.
Wait, hold on. Let me hit this quick break. We're coming back with Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball review on the lunch break.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy TD Blackshear every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation and no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the
Okay, no problem. Okay.
and KYOK
Absolutely.
Radio.
Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Obama. Barack and I are so thrilled that we got our COVID-19 vaccine because this is a deadly disease, and this vaccine will protect us from getting really sick. Getting vaccinated is safe, and it
You already know. All you gotta do is post that.
allow us to start
Okay.
back to see friends.
All right, thank you.
To learn more, go to
That's him.
cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm not bothering them today.
You want some sports?
Thank
Is
goodness.
he done better? Is he doing good today?
Okay, at the lunch break.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Y'all already know I'm going to be out all next week. Kris, Gardner, Houston Roundball Review is going to be in from the 17th through the 20th. So I'll be back on Friday, Kris. I won't make you work on Friday, man. You can go bake cookies and do the mac and cheese thing. First of all, congratulations, though, to LaChina and the crew that's going to be calling the Atlanta Dream games, man. Outstanding. I love what Renee Montgomery and those owners are doing down there in Atlanta. That added a whole nother dimension to the game.
It did, and it ruined my chances of getting LaChina on the show next week. So, but I understand. That is a great opportunity for her and the crew. So yeah.
All right, so we need to talk today. If you got some time later on the day, we're gonna talk because you can pre-record that and run that bad boy through the show.
I'm gonna reach out to her again and
okay.
I'm gonna suggest that. So we'll see what she says. But
All right, because I'll show you.
Never say never, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you how to share your screen and let that recording run, bro. Because it'd be good to see you on one panel and LaChina in the other one.
This is true. I'm not disagreeing with that. I could move some folks around and bump a guest or two if necessary. If my queen says she wants to join me on the show, there's no doubt about that. So,
man, that's hilarious.
It could be her show for 2 hours. That's fine.
Bruh, y'all can co-host together. That would be fine. That would be just fine too. You know what I mean?
That'd be great for me. She'd be slumming. But that's okay. That's fine with me. I got called. That's my queen. So.
But it's you. I was gonna say she won't be slumming because it's you.
Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for those props.
No problem. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. All right, let me leave Russell Westbrook alone. Dallas last night got close to clinching one of those final two spots outside of the play-in bracket when they beat New Orleans 125-107. They got to win one out of the next two to make sure they're not in that number 7 spot. Who has the tiebreaker, Portland or the Lakers, if they finish with the same record?
I think the only tiebreaker the Lakers win is if it's them, Portland, and Dallas.
Okay.
If it's head-to-head, they don't win. So if it's 3 teams, the Lakers win because of conference record. But it's head-to-head, they lose to Portland and Dallas. I think that is how it goes out.
I got you. So the Lakers need Portland to lose out, and then they need to win out to get out of that play-in bracket.
Right.
All right. And then the Spurs have clinched that final play-in spot because New Orleans lost last night, even though the Spurs lost to Brooklyn. Before I get too far away from it, any impressions on James Harden's return last night? Kevin Durant didn't play long, but Harden actually had a decent game in his first return back from that hammy injury.
No, I mean, James is still a great player. Just a question of how long that hammy holds up. Because if he's healthy, they're going to do damage. If he's not, they're going to do less damage. And less damage means no conference finals, no NBA finals.
Yeah, I got you. Philadelphia locked up that top spot. Is that important or no?
This year, I'm not sure how important that is, how important home court advantage is, because limited fans in the buildings. I'm not sure, fans do have some impact on the road. Reserve role players play poorly on the road than they do at home. But I'm not sure how much of that's going to be an issue this playoffs because you're not going to have sold out arenas, screaming, influencing the refs because that does happen, and then influencing players. So it's nice, like in the Lakers case. If the Lakers get healthy, it's not going to matter if they're the 7th seed, the 8th seed, they're healthy. I'm going to pick them to get it done. But that is a massive if. But, hey, last week I had Philly coming out of the East, so that was May 6th, May 13th. I'm not changing yet, so I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, and then let's talk about the Knicks. They have clinched that number 6 spot. They don't have to worry about having to be in the play-in. They are legitimately in the playoffs for the first time since I can remember. So how big is that?
That's huge. That's huge for the NBA. That's the major media market in the playoffs at least 4 times. That's huge. And I doubt they'll get swept. So that means at least 5 times. That's big for the Knicks. That's big for Adam Silver. That's big for TV. So finally, at last, the Knicks are back in the playoffs.
Yeah, as I look in the East, I see some of the blue bloods. I see Philadelphia. I see Atlanta. I like to say I see Dominique Wilkins and the Hawks. I see the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. And I'm not going to talk shade about them because Boston is still in the top 7. You've got some of the, some of the teams that were traditional powers back in the 70s and the 80s that are now back in the playoff discussion. And I feel like that's a whole lot of eyes and probably merchandise and advertising and all that for the league.
Don't forget about the Bucks if you're going back to the 70s and the 80s because, they were.
You know what? And I thought about that after I said that because that's Lou Alcindor and fellas.
Because and then the 80s you had Sidney Moncrief and Jack Sicklin, and those squads. So it's good to see. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm looking forward to being able to watch the playoffs and not have to worry about going to practice, covering practices with the Rockets, doing interviews and all that other kind of stuff. I can just watch the games as a fan for the most part. So, and use this time to kind of unwind and recharge, man, because these last few months has been a grind. So, truly, I'm looking forward to it.
And this is the Rockets' first time missing the playoffs since when?
I had a friend, colleague last night asked me about it, and I said before James got here, I haven't checked yet, but it's been a long time. So,
Okay.
So that's 9 years or so, maybe 9 years around that some point.
It's been a good run, and this rebuild, I know fans don't like it, but better to go through this and get it rebuilt right than to piecemeal it and be trying to patch here and tape there and tie this together. I'm not mad. I just hope they give Stephen Silas time to rebuild this.
Agreed, and I was gratified to see the comments from Tillman that he's happy. He understands the process. He understands that this will be a rebuilding process. He's going to give Coach Silas some time to coach the team, a healthy Rockets team, because what's the number at? They had going on possibly 43 different starting lineups tomorrow or Sunday as they close out the season. That's 40, whatever it is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. 29 different players started this year.
Yeah.
The injuries have been, when I said it on the lunch break in February or March, that maybe this could be one of those years for injuries, I had no idea how bad it's going to be. This is just an extreme. So they may not make the playoffs next year. They'll be better next year. The first thing, if they're healthy, they'll be better.
Yeah.
But, the West is going to be the West.
Yeah.
But I was glad to see Tillman give Stephen Silas, an okay understanding that this year is just injuries, because, folks forget the Rockets were 11-10 at one point. They were 11-10. Then Christian Wood got hurt and missed a month. They're now 16-54.
Wow.
That's 5-44 in the last 49 ball games.
Wow.
But yeah, Stephen Silas next year. Stephen Silas said it last night. He remains optimistic. He believes in the team's future because you can see the youth and the potential that's on the team now. You added with draft pick, hopefully an elite top 3 pick. You re-signed Kelly Olynyk, who I think has surprised a lot of folks of his overall skill set.
Yeah, he's been refreshing.
He's been refreshing, but I also like the fact, I'm going to pat myself on the back. He's a big man, a skilled big man.
Yep.
Forget about all this small ball stuff. See, you play small ball because you don't have skilled big men.
Right.
That's my take on that. The Rockets now have some skilled big men to build around. So I think next year is going to be a better year. And if they get lucky, and then who knows, they might catch it, get a spot in the playoff, at least in the play-in next year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to shift gears a little bit because these two teams seem to be having a parallel season. The Pistons, they announced a 1-year extension for Coach Dwayne Casey.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you've covered sports a long time. It is very rare for somebody who looks like us to get an extension off a year like this.
Right.
The Pistons are 20-50, I think that's right. 20-50, but you can see in their case, they have a core 4 of youngsters, of draft picks, 3 first-round picks they're going to build around. So I said this, I'm going to say it to you, I'm going to say it on the air. It may not happen, but in my mind, I could see at some point in the future a Detroit Rockets NBA Finals.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I could live with that. That would be fun to call and cover and watch.
Yes. And because I think both teams, in the Rockets case, they had a different way. They've been in playoffs for a long, long time about success, but they couldn't quite get over that hump. But they're now rebuilding the right way. The Pistons stuck in mediocrity for years, way too long after winning that 3rd championship. Finally, with Troy Weaver as GM, finally realized how to rebuild the right way. So I think they're both on the path going up.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it all plays out. I think it could happen, though.
Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Kris, let me run through this real quick. Of course, somebody put out there, coaches on the hot seat. Jasmine Wimbush says that there are coaches on the hot seat, including Terry Stotts in Portland.
Yes.
Should be, shouldn't be, don't believe it.
Oh, no, I think he should be on the hot seat but it's not his fault personnel-wise. I think the GM there has not done a great job of surrounding Dame with great talent. But he's been there 9 years. Yes, they've won and had a lot of regular season success. But what's the goal? Do you want to give Dame a chance at an NBA championship in Portland? Then I don't believe Terry Stotts that guy. Yeah. Now, do you want Dame to leave in 3 years and go somewhere else to chase a ring? Okay, wait. But he's making $50 million then, so it's going to be hard to move him.
Right.
So maybe, and sometimes a different voice is needed in the locker room. Dame has not said publicly he wants Terry Stotts out, but you got to look at it. New person in charge overall of the organization. I think Terry Stotts has had a good run, not a great run, but had a good run, and I think it's time for a change.
Yeah. I like some of the names that they're talking about if he does get moved. Jason Kidd, Nate McMillan, let's see, Chauncey Billups, and Brent Barry, of all people.
Yeah, the last two, I'm not with because of where Dame is at this point in his career. I don't see Chauncey and Brent being able to get them over the hump. I think Nate could, Jason Kidd could, because they have that coaching experience.
Right.
We don't know what Chauncey and Brent could do as head coaches. So I think a different franchise, maybe give them a shot at it, but not a franchise where you have an elite, an all NBA player, and you're trying to get that team to the NBA Finals. I don't think those two are for that.
Obviously, the head coach in New Orleans, in Indiana, is in trouble, and he's only been there a year. But there's no justification for how that team is played, given that you got rid of Nate McMillan to bring this guy in. and it's a mess, man. You got players going at coaches, coaches going at the players, player telling the coach to sit the blank down, and I mean, it's just a hot mess, and that's got to fall on the coach.
And isn't there one case of coaches going after coaches?
Yeah, that's true.
I think one. I think Greg Foster was suspended one game or at least fined because of running with one of the other coaches on the staff. That's a bad look. That's the coach, and it's interesting. I read something about if the Pacers would have done more background on him and asked folks from his previous stops, they would have learned about who he really is.
Okay.
Because when you go in there for interviews, you put on your best behavior. You put your best foot forward. You may not reveal all your warts.
Right.
It's up to that employer to do the background, do the due diligence, and then look, oh, well, he or she's got, this is a flag. This is a flag.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't hire this person.
Right.
I don't think they did that, and it's biting me in the butt.
Yeah. Stay right there, Chris. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back with Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball review right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19. Pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
When Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick went to the Capitol, he took an old friend, Jim Crow. Now old Jim Crow sits on Patrick's shoulder, calling the shots. For Patrick and Governor Greg Abbott and Speaker Dave Phelan, they are pushing racist Jim Crow-style voting laws that steal our rights, prop up white supremacists, and tear down our democracy. They want to turn the clock back, way back to a century ago when Jim Crow and white supremacists controlled our lives, ruined our lives, took our lives. They say it's reform and ballot security, but we know better. It's discrimination and racist voter suppression. We won't go back. We won't let Dan Patrick and the racists he walks with steal our votes and destroy our country. Call 512-463-0001. Tell Dan Patrick to get Jim Crow off his shoulder and end his racist attacks on Texas. Paid for by the Texas Justice and Education Fund.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all. We are back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'll get back to the HBCU marching bands tomorrow. Right now, I got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball review, joining me on the show. And Kris, wanted to get to another name on here on this coaches on the hot seat list, and that is the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, Budenholzer. I can't disagree, but I'm still kind of surprised.
Why? The Bucks' goal is to get to the NBA Finals,
right?
If not win the whole thing. So,
right.
He's been there a while. He hasn't gotten them to that destination. At some point, it's all in expectations of a particular team franchise.
Yeah.
The Bucks expect to get to the finals.
Yeah.
If not win the whole thing.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, that's the coach's fault. That's his job. That's his job to get them there. A team like the Knicks just first, get back to the playoffs. Coach did that. They don't have a goal of winning a championship this year, getting to the finals. Their goal was to get to the playoffs. So it's based on your expectations for that particular team. I think Coach Bud could be gone if they don't get to the, for sure, conference finals. But I think NBA finals, depending on circumstances, things like that. But yeah, he's got to get to the conference finals for sure. If not, he's out.
What's interesting in this article by Jasmine, she says it's NBA Finals. That they're at that point now that if he does not make it to the NBA Finals, she doesn't see him coming back. And that leads me to another question. If a couple of teams had it to do all over again, we already talked about Indiana and Nate McMillan. I think if they had to do that one all over again, they probably keep Nate McMillan and work it out. What do you think about Jason Kidd still being in Milwaukee right now?
No.
Okay.
Jason, he did a few things that, with management. There's things that warranted him getting fired.
Okay.
His friendship with Giannis was good and important. It was good to be synced with your superstar, but he did enough behind the scenes. No, J.K. did decide to go, and I think he's learned from that experience to get another chance at a head gig in the league. But what he did is his time in Milwaukee, he kind of helped himself out the door.
What's interesting is that's the same thing that we heard and I know to be true about Mark Jackson in Golden State with the Warriors. Man, how long do these guys suffer that punishment? Were those fatal blows to their coaching careers, head coaching careers?
Well, look at them. Look at Steve Nash. What's the difference? And Mark Jackson, it's all about perception, AJ. It's all about perception. It's all about the circus. We got to control the circus. We're afraid of the circus. Owners do not want to deal with Mark Jackson's beliefs, religious beliefs. They don't want him to answer those questions. They don't want him to espouse those views, even though they're his. They think that is going to be a distraction. Different sport, but that's the same excuses that we hear from other owners in other sports. I don't want to deal with the distraction. I'd rather lose gracefully than win with distractions. Yeah, okay. You say that for certain folks, not others.
Yeah.
2021, that's still the case. That hasn't changed.
Right.
It'll be a while before that changes.
Yeah. We talked a lot about the East. Anything about the West, the way it's shaping up, pretty much like you thought it would be, heading down these next 2-3 games for a couple of teams?
Phoenix, like I said, I'm waiting to see how they perform in the playoffs. I think there are too many question marks, uncertainty about them. I still have questions about the Jazz. So, I'm Clippers, Lakers. But Clippers, I got questions about Paul George in the playoffs. So he's healthy now. Okay, that's good. That's important. You still got to get done the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Lakers are the biggest question and it's legit, because they're not healthy. LeBron and AD are not 95, 100%. Of course, somebody is right now, but they're coming off injuries. LeBron and his high ankle sprain are really, really a big deal, especially for someone LeBron's age, but somebody who was athletic as LeBron as well. LeBron, right. I heard the stat last night during the Rockets game. LeBron's next game, if he comes back tomorrow, whatever the Lakers' next game is, he will cross the 50,000 minutes in regular season threshold. That is a whole bunch of wear and tear on that body. So Father Time is undefeated. So will LeBron, he comes back, close out the regular season, get it done in the play-in, but at some point, will that ankle, Father Time's tap on that ankle, you out again, man. You can't, it's not your year this year. Will that happen? If that happens, Lakers are done.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, then they got a great chance to repeat.
Yeah. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Kris, we got like couple more minutes. There was a prominent sports broadcaster. I think they call him a basketball insider. I've decided I'm an NFL outsider and an NBA outsider. That's my mantra. He apparently went to a high school basketball game, and their star player was held out for load management. And he ran to his Twitter account and posted that, how crazy it was that a star player in high school
I saw that
was
tweet.
held out because of load management. What are your thoughts about that?
I wouldn't have put it. I would not have tweeted that. I would have reached out to find out if there was more to it before tweeting that. Because what if a young man is dealing with something going on his family life? What if he just had a whole week cramming for finals? You know, whatever. What if he had just led his AAU team to deep, back-to-back weekends of championship round appearances? Whatever. I would have gotten more info before commenting on that. Now, if it's none of those issues, and he just went to coach and said, "Coach, I'm tired. I don't feel like playing today." Then I gotta say, man, you're 16, 17 years old. Why are you tired? So I think if there's more to the story, I think we should have been looked into that before the NBA insider tweeted that.
Yeah, because he got ratioed. He got ratioed pretty bad, and I felt bad for him because I don't think he knew. And then there's certain part of Twitter that they just don't play when it comes to theirs. My whole thing is this: if he went to the coach and said, "Coach, I'm just tired. I want to sit it out," and like you said, without other extenuating factors, then that's a different story. But if the coach said, "I'm gonna hold you out this game," well, why, Coach? Now we're just gonna give you a rest tonight. You played hard the last 3-4 games. You got us here. We're gonna give you the night off. How do you feel about that?
And that's the coach's decision. You got to respect the coach's decision on that. That's on the player. Load management is an issue in the NBA, but those are pros. They're getting paid, and I think unless they are hurt, they should play and not sit out games. I do think the NBA needs to eliminate back-to-backs. I think the NBA needs to schedule more rest for the players because sleeping on planes, I don't care if it's a private jet, whatever, 3-4 hours, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Your body needs time to recover.
Right.
We've learned that over the years. 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't think about that. It wasn't even a point of discussion. Fans didn't think about it. Media didn't think about it. Players didn't think about it. But now I think your body needs time to rest and recover. And I think that is an issue of why we have so many injuries this season, because players have not had a chance to heal and recover. They're going from city to city, back-to-backs, 5 games in 7 days. 5 games, 7 days. I think the NBA should have done more of their proposed baseball scheduling. Have homestands.
Yeah.
They only had 4 for each team. That's not enough. Right. They should have done that more. But I'm trying, AJ. I'm trying to adjust my old school mentality, my old school mindset, and at least get my toe into 2021 and realize some things just aren't going to be the way where they were when I was growing up. I'm trying.
Yeah. At least you're making the effort, Kris. At least you're making.
It's not going to be analytics though. That ain't changing. I need to talk, and I may have one of my guests next week see if he can steer me a little bit toward his side, and he knows who he is because he's coming up Monday. We already worked on that one, so he'll watch this episode. So I'm putting him on spot right now. So get ready.
That's what's up, man. You're gonna have me tuning in from where I am, bro. You're gonna have me tuning in from where, and I'm trying to unplug it, shut it down, turn it off.
Unplug, brother. Unplug.
Yeah. What I want to ask you real quick before we go. How does this work with the play-in tournament? How does that work this year's play-in bracket?
The 7th seed plays the 8th seed. Winner of that gets the 7th spot. Loser will play then step by step. 9th seed plays the 10th seed. The winner of that will play the 8th seed. 8th seed wins. They're in. 9th seed have to beat the 8th seed. I think they'll have to win 2 in a row to get that to vault into the 8th spot.
Okay.
I like the concept, but I think it should just be for the 8th spot, the 8th and final spot, year in, year out. I think if you're a 7th seed, you should be in the playoffs. I don't
Yeah,
want to give everybody a chance, to get in just because you get hot at the end.
Yeah. All right, so 7 plays 8. If 7 wins, they're in. 9 and 10 play. If 10 beats 9, they play number 8. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, the
And I
NBA
think
sure want that money. They sure
I think
want
they'd
that
have to beat
money.
them twice. So yeah, if 10 beats 9, 10 have to beat 8 or 7, whoever loses twice.
Right, gotcha. Big Time Floyd will have the final remark. He said, "Hello, AJ and Kris and Breakers. Are you really surprised? Load management has ruined the NBA when the players dictate when they're going to play or not play. We have we have serious problems." Okay, that's one way to look at it.
It's a stars league. We know that. Fans should understand that. That's why I think the NBA should schedule. See, NBA will not reduce the season. It's going to be, this year, forget it, because of COVID, 72 games. But the NBA is not going to cut down to 82 games because of money.
Right.
But I think they need to do a better job scheduling out the games. I think you should have max 4 games in a week in a 7-day period. Max. I prefer 3. I prefer 3.
Yeah.
But they won't do that. Now you got the plan, you got the WNBA being the guinea pig with the Commissioner's Cup that's going to start, have more money for this 25th season that starts tomorrow. And that is involving the first regular season matchups conference-wise in the East and West. And the team with the best record from the East will play the team with the best record in the West for money. I think that concept will ultimately come to the NBA. I think it's all about money.
Yeah.
So they're just going to try to milk it out. They're going to try to maximize interest in the regular season. They're trying to be like European soccer, European football.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see how it all plays out.
Kris, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you.
HoustonRoundballReview.com is the website. I'm on Twitter at THEHR Review. Once again, that's THEV, the HR Review. Instagram, Houston Roundball Review. YouTube, Houston Roundball Review. Go to that website. I'm working on a few things. My brother here, he's trusting me with the show Monday through Thursday. So I'm working on some stuff. And I'm hoping, I'm not even going to say anymore, but yes, HoustonRoundballReview.com. Houston Roundball Review's been around since 1994. And brother, like I always say, local name, national perspective.
Somewhere Willie Gibson just lit up. So we got to help him with his tagline. And
he will be joining me next week, brother.
Kris, I love it, bro. I love what you're doing. We will talk later on today if possible, okay?
Sounds good, man. Thank you very much.
All right, y'all. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Y'all be sure and give him a lot of love next week. Let me get out of the way. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does this thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. And then, of course, Erica Campbell and Griff, Get Up Morning. That will be 6 a.m. to 9. Your boy will be back with Freestyle Friday. Got some special guests that'll be joining me. And then again, Kris Gardner going to be here all next week. I'll be back on next Friday. All right, y'all. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. The presiding judge in last month's trial of Derek Chauvin and the murder of George Floyd has ruled that prosecutors proved Chauvin's cruelty beyond a reasonable doubt. Among the 4 aggravated factors, Judge Cahill stated, the white former Minneapolis police officer abused his position of authority and treated George Floyd with particular cruelty. So how much time will the judge give Chauvin? Sentencing is now scheduled for June 25th. The number of new COVID-19 cases continues to fall in the U.S. This week, the average of new infections fell to an average of just under 39,000. The first time case counts have been below 40,000 since September of 2020. However, outbreaks continue to grow in other countries, particularly in India. World Health Organization officials announced it is reclassifying the highly contagious variant from India as a variant of concern, signaling that it has become a global health threat. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CS Houston. Are you ready?
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Got to make sure all the commercials run. But let's not do this. Let's do this, all right? Let's find a way to work this thing out, you know? And listen, when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person or the people, but the racism, y'all. We can do this thing, man. This division that we got going on, it does not have to be. All right? And the racism has got to stop. Tell somebody stop killing unarmed black people, all right? Y'all be blessed. Love you.